Buonasera a tutti, sono Michele Vitali, responsabile commerciale di T-Experience. Noi siamo un'azienda che lavora ormai da 25 anni in maniera specifica nel mercato dell'ottica e quest'anno lanciamo un nuovo progetto che si chiama appunto Academy per l'Ottico.
Yes, and we are launching a new project, Academy, for the opticians. So we work both with opticians and manufacturers. And our task is to spread the news and give you some ideas to have your company grow. The other day we had another workshop on all the novelties in terms of taxes. And today we are going to focus on the web, how to win on the web, which is key to be competitive on the market. This project is being carried out in partnership with Prova Sociale, so I immediately give the floor to Alessia, who is going to actually tell you all about how to win on the web. Well, hello everybody. I hope we're going to have an informal session. I am a bit nervous. I'm not used to speaking in public, so I beg your pardon if I'm a bit nervous. I've been working with Prova Sociale for 10 years. I'm a consultant. I will try today to shorten what normally is given in 3 hours. So in an hour I will try and provide to you some ideas, the tips on how to win on the web. This is actually an important seminar. We have had about 350 people attending this seminar throughout Italy last year. Normally I ask everyone to introduce him or herself, so I'm just not going to do so today, but I'll just select a couple of people. May I? What does it mean for you? Well, first of all, what's your name? Giorgio. Hello, Giorgio. Could you tell me what does it mean for you to be successful on the web? I'm sorry, they have to use the mic for us to translate. Thank you. Well, good evening. Well, from an optician viewpoint, I think to be successful on the web, this means being capable through this tool to attract customers to the physical store and then, of course, be successful in the final sale. So bringing in customers to your store through the web, right? This is the message you were conveying to us. Who else? Well, I'm Valentin. I come from Romania. I'm not it's Italian, actually. We are European, but I'm not Italian. And I think that being successful on the web needs to be differentiated. So one thing is the business to business. So, and one thing is business to consumer. In my area, what I would like to do through the web is to help my store, so the sales network. Well, we have partners to attract the focus and attention of customers, so to increase awareness for our customers. And then we have the brands. We can do the same for them, increasing brand awareness. So in economic terms, this means not only, getting people to the stores, so has to increase revenues, but also increasing awareness and brand awareness or store awareness. Okay. I'm going to show you a few slides on the normal answers that are given by colleagues of yours. And I always write down new answers when they're interesting. So producing qualified leads. So this means investing on the web to obtain contacts, but they must be in target with the offering of my company, and in this way I'll be able to sort of meet their expectations and make a sale and sell them something. Second, being visible on the market before my competitors, and this is also important because if you can end up in one of the first positions in the search engines, then you're more competitive than your competitors. So normally what we do is when we search with Google, is we stop on the first page. So it's important to end up in the top ranking. And then fair brand, as we said, brand awareness, and then lead generation, and then being perceived as a leader. Like IKEA is leader, Coca-Cola is leader. If I become a leader, then I don't need anymore to do a lot of activities. So people come to me without having to push them to do so. And then, of course, selling more, and it's taken for granted. And then hitting the right target. This means approaching, those companies that have the right product for me, or that are in the same geographical area. Because sometimes it's better to work closely. This decreases costs. Of course, like think about e-commerce. And then I'll give the possibility of being found on other markets. So promoting yourself in other countries, emerging from the rest of the crowd. So let's now see the 5 drivers that could help you out in being successful on the web. Well, the website is, of course, the first tool you need to be online. But before setting up the right website, you need to have the right business model. Because very often when I talk with entrepreneurs, they say, well, I want to promote my activity online. I want to increase the number of contacts and leads. I want to do something so that I increase my business and increase my revenues. Well, of course, this is the basics. We are a web marketing company, so this is our job, helping companies to bring leads to and contacts to and prospects to the website. Yeah, but what happens then if this company manages to achieve a lot of leads and prospects, but then is not able, from an organization viewpoint, to then meet these needs and sort of serve these customers, because now customers want real-time responses. And so what happens is if you're not able to provide a quick answer, then your reputation will go down. It's not that you want e-commerce because it's cool, everyone has it, so you want to have it yourself. But this is not how it works. I have to be able to satisfy the needs. I have to have a proper warehouse with all the products ready to be shipped. It's not that if someone orders it, then the product is not in the warehouse. Then I have to be well equipped with people shipping out the orders. I have to have also a service department, and then I can have a proper website. So only if the organization in the background is there, you can start thinking about setting up a website. Now, of course, these are just tips for you. Of course, all these ideas and suggestions are based on research, but these are just suggestions for you. Now, what do you need to have a proper and suitable website? Well, it should be possible to index it. Now, what does it mean? Well, and also you might have heard about positioning, and you're nodding, so you've heard about all this. Well, there are agencies and companies that become very successful just working on the confusion created on these two words, indexing and positioning. But actually, these are two different things. Now, the indexizable, well, this means it's like a big library called Google, and that my book is there on the shelf within a very big index where I have all the books in the world. This means being indexable, i.e. all websites actually can be indexized because Google is doing it for all websites. Of course, if you have someone helping you out, this will quicken the whole process. And then second bullet there is being optimizable. So I can enhance it, I can fine-tune it, I can optimize it. This means adding in the title, description, and URL. Like when you type in a word in Google, then you have the results of your search, so the hits. There's a title of the page, the URL, which is like the address, and then a description that is normally a couple of lines. But within these fields, I have to be able to include those keywords, the magical words, so that Google, by reading them, gives me a good ranking. And when can I do so? Well, the platform on which the website is built is important. Open or closed? Do you know what that means? Please also tell me whether I'm clear enough. We don't have much time, but if you have questions, just stop me. So we always advise for an open platform. Closed platform, this means that it's a proprietary platform being owned by the company. So if you decide one day to leave that sort of agency, you have a quarrel with the owner of that agency, and you have now a friend that is working for another agency, you want to go with him. So you say, well, I want to leave your platform. But then I need access keys to my website, and the agency might say, I don't give you these keys, and you lose everything. Now, if this is a sort of a shop window website, just a couple of pages, it's not a big deal. But e-commerce websites with thousands of products, years of work to enter them all, with all the technical specs. Well, it happens very often that we have big companies, I'm not naming them, but they had to pay a lot of money to regain the ownership of their website. So Magento, PrestaShop, WordPress, and they give you the possibility of these open platforms let you work autonomously. Now, available on all devices, the website must be responsive. the website should adjust to the device we are using to view it. So tablet, smartphone, besides the PC. And actually, Google is penalizing those that do not have a responsive website. I think it's really a pain in the neck when you have to, start, when you're navigating around a website that is not doing this adjustment, maybe through your smartphone. So, and of course, you want to have your customer being happy in the quickest way possible. So we have a special law. We say the 3-click law. If the visitor of your website is not able to find what he or she is looking for with 3 clicks, he or she will leave. So try and build your website so that with 3 clicks they reach their aim. It could be downloading a PDF, anything. And the message that you want to leave with them, that you want to convey, must be clear. So always ask yourself whether you're communicating in the right way. So the easy of navigation in the website. Are they managing to achieve what they want and what you want them to achieve? Well, we have the so-called heat maps. Now, these heat maps allow you to understand whether everything is okay in your website. There have been cases we have analyzed of customers with websites that had a lot of traffic, so many visits, but no sales, no request for contact. So the entrepreneur came to us and said, why do I have so many visits but no sales at all? Well, we discovered through this tool, and actually there are also free of charge tools online that can help you out in this respect. Well, we found out that actually there were 2 buttons that were not functional. So people continued on pushing on these buttons, but they could get nowhere, and so they were leaving the website, and this is why. I mean, he was not making any sale. And then speed is also so important. The website must upload very quickly, 1, 2, 3, and everything should be on the screen. So the speed of the website is important. If the website is slow and you start seeing something rotating, is because you have very heavy pictures, but there are tools helping you out to lighten them, and this of course happens in e-commerce websites. You have to have at least 3 pictures per product. But this happens not only on e-commerce websites, also on fashion websites. So be careful, however, take that into account. Another reason for the slow upload of the website could be the code itself and how it is written. And then easy contact. So please make sure that your contact details are visible. So on each page for each product, always make sure that you have the request for info button. There are e-commerce sites that you don't even understand where the cart is, so the basket is. And also instant chat Yeah, it's a nice idea, a brilliant idea. But going back to the proper business model, yeah, you offer the chat, you're cool. But if this chat is not working, then it's purposeless, it's useless, and it will bring down your reputation. So either you're capable of really being quick in responding to your customers, or better leaving that additional service aside. The chat is actually interesting if you want to improve the conversion rate. It's like having your sales assistant there providing the consumer with all the information he or she needs. So think about it, and if you want, you have to have proper organization to have a chat. And then make sure that all your icons and buttons are functional, because you might have all the icons in the world, but if by clicking on them nothing happens, then it's not useful. So let's make sure that we also provide interesting content on your pages, and at least that all the icons, especially those connecting to other social media, are functional. And then Google Analytics. They're always nodding there, so I'm pleased to see that they're following me. So Google Analytics is actually a tool helping you how to understand how successful your website is. It's a script integrated in the code of your website, helping you out in understanding how many visitors you have, which are the frequently visited pages, how long they stay on a page or viewing a product. And this is very helpful to also do some statistics to understand what's your best seller, whether there is a seasonality in the sales. So important information can be acquired through Google Analytics. And then language management. If it's a multi-language websites, please have professional translators translating, and do not use Google to translate the website. It happened to me that customers told me, well, I have my website in Italian, English, and German. Then I go on the website and I find Italian, English, and English instead of German. Why do you have English instead of German? Well, all Germans know English, so I saved a bit on translation. No, do not do so, because Google is reading, all of your website and considers it as a duplicate content. These are like two websites written in English. It's a duplicate. Google doesn't like it, and so Google will penalize you in the ranking. So going back to the business model, I only do what I'm capable of. And if you want to save on translation, then just offer your website in English and Italian. So quality is key. Unique IP. We always advise it. So use a dedicated service, especially if you have an e-commerce website. It's a little bit more expensive, but if you have a cold and you sit next to someone that is not suffering of a cold in that moment, well, it might be that this person then the day after has a cold. So it could be that your website gets a virus from the neighbor on the server. And then what about allowing people to make purchase without registering? So offering the login through Facebook or Google+. Try and make the purchasing process as simple as possible. So ask for their contact details after, and let's have them buy the product and ask for all the details in the very end. Because of course, if you have to ship them something, they'll have to give you all these details. And then self-completion fields. So this to make it quicker for the buyer, for the person that buys on your website to fill in the fields. And then compulsory SSL. If you are not doing so, you'll end up with this on your website. So it's compulsory, and it's a certificate that your agency can provide. There are different kinds according to the website, because Google wants the browsers to be protected. So especially for e-commerce websites, when the consumers have to type in some sensitive data like their credit card number, well, you need this certificate, SSL certificate. And then proper communication is point number 2. So proper and suitable communication is so important. But also for those that want to do business online, you have to be able to attract their attention. Now, I know that you're probably all selling glasses and eyewear products. Like, it's the same spectacles, the same material, it's all the same, but we have 2 websites selling the same product. What are the factors that are influencing where this consumer is buying? Well, price, of course. If you are a cent less expensive, then probably choose you or the other. But actually, we should not focus only on this. We should try and attract the attention of the customer in a different way. And how do we do so?
A potential customer doesn't get in contact with you until he or she has understood, because sometimes I look at some websites and I cannot understand what they actually do, what they actually offer. So they have to first understand what you do, how you can help him or her, and why he or she should choose you. The second element is the most important one. If the customer doesn't understand what benefit he or she can draw from your website, well, they will not be willing to buy. And this is also important. And this is something you can check with Google Analytics. This is the bounce rate. And this is a percentage based on the speed of the navigator in going into and out of a website, of a homepage. If the bounce rate is high, you have to be concerned because you're not communicating in a proper way. And this means that that person is landing on a website and he doesn't understand a word. So he cannot understand anything about what is in there. Let's say 30% would be a good rate. So this means out of 100, 70 stay, 30 go away. If you have 40, well, you should start analyzing your website because there is something wrong with it. So proper communication, I have to define my target. So once my target has been identified, I can then identify the offering, the message, and the audience, the target audience. So I have to understand what issues my target audience is concerned about. Because if I want to give them benefits, I have to solve their issues, the key issues. And I also have to understand what benefits they can derive from my product, from particular lenses. What are the benefits for my target audience? I have to disclose this to them. So you have to express your result in terms of benefits perceived by your customers. So you know about that. You simply have to ask yourself about it. An example, this is a company that we are mentioning now, and we are also making a very good advertisement of it because we are helping. We are giving about 500 seminars. So this is a company from the Veneto region, like me, between Padova and Vicenza. They manufacture industrial furnaces, and well, they managed to double their turnover in a very difficult moment. They invested a lot, but they invested mostly in strategies. Well, they may have had great consultants, of course, but they reached impressive results. So have a look at this. Can you see technical descriptions, technical details like power of the furnaces, size of the furnaces? Well, first of all, they use boxes, and this catches people's attention immediately, and then they put benefits into these boxes. Maybe because in hotels or in the customer's premises there are issues with sizes. So they haven't written, for example, well, the size is 10 to 100 meters, because they wouldn't have caught the attention of the public. But this is the way you can attract other people's attention. You save raw materials, you save time, you save space, you save energy. So if you use my furnace, I hope you save money. So talk about and mention the benefits and not the features of your products or services. What kind of language does your customer speak? My potential customer, because I often speak my own personal language and not the language of my customer. And this applies to us as well. We also used to have a website. We used to have a website about a decade ago. I still remember when I joined the company, well, the first thing I did, and people do usually, is to look at the website. But I didn't understand a word of it. So you could not understand anything in that website because it was full of technical jargon, of technical words. It was too technical. It was not transparent. We have been working a lot on communication, on our communication, and now it is no longer the case. And why is that? Because we were convinced our target are professionals who know what I'm talking about, what we're talking about. Our potential customers instead are anybody, and they do not necessarily have to understand and know what SEO is. So we have to consider that our target audience is a housewife or a high-end professional or entrepreneur who wants a fashionable pair of glasses. Well, this is the CEO of a company that implemented a beautiful strategy, in our opinion. What did they do? Well, they had three main contact people, let's say, the salesperson of that company that was on the field selling furnaces. Then they had a technician for the installation and training of the furnace. And then they had three people on the same furnace. However, they said, but who is using a furnace? And when we go there and when we go to the customer's premises, whom are we talking to? So they merged these three people and they sent a chef, a cook to the customers. They trained the chef about the use of how to use the furnace, the oven, and they sent him to restaurants' kitchens to train people there. So both the cook, the chef, and the oven and the furnace came to the customer's premises. And he used to say, okay, try the oven for 2 weeks, for 10 days. You try it, you test it with all the different recipes, and then you decide whether to give it back or to keep it. So do you think customers gave the oven back? No, of course. So they managed to double the turnover. And this type of solution is called a try and buy. If you think about it, well, this is just a suggestion, everyone can find a system to offer the try and buy solution. Well, I'm doing a try and buy today, for example, because after this presentation, someone may ask for some further information and may come to see me in Padua, and so things may change. So this is about making the difference, and this is called unique selling proposition.
Ho visto che l'ha fatto lui.
Sulle cartine la regione si chiama Veneto, ma se si parla di lavoro diventa il cuore pulsante del cosiddetto Nord-Est. Siamo diretti proprio nel Nord-Est, alla Unox, un'azienda che produce forni professionali e ai primi posti in un mercato competitivo internazionale e proprio dall'estero trae il 90% del fatturato. Fatturato che tra il 2007 e il 2013 è raddoppiato, dopo che l'azienda ha capito che era necessario ripensare sia la produzione che la vendita. Non solo cambiare, accrescere il valore del prodotto, ma farlo in modo visibile per chi compra.
Dopo gli inizi, quando il prodotto era molto semplice, Unox passa a diversificare, quindi aumentano i volumi ma anche l'offerta. A quel punto che problema bisogna affrontare?
Rivedere l'intero sistema produttivo, mettere in primo piano il processo che genera valore per il cliente, eliminare tutto quello che costa e non aggiunge valore al cliente stesso.
Voi cambiate dall'interno tutta la produzione, il modo di fare i vostri forni, per voi questo ha un grande valore, però il cliente finale se ne accorge?
Ci rendiamo conto che i nostri clienti sono convinti di aver comprato un buon forno a un prezzo giusto ma nulla di speciale.
Vedono un po' qualità-prezzo.
Esattamente, vedono un po' il denominatore basso più che la qualità alta. E poi il termine qualità-prezzo non traduce il concetto di value for money, che vuol dire dare valore al cliente, quello che gli dai e il ritorno dell'investimento che gli garantisci.
Che strategia avete deciso di adottare per far arrivare al cliente l'informazione sul valore del vostro prodotto che fino a quel momento non arrivava tanto bene?
La scelta è stata quella di dare a tutti i nostri clienti potenziali l'opportunità di provare un forno Unox all'interno della propria cucina prima di impegnarsi nell'investimento.
Dove prima c'erano diverse persone, diverse interfacce tra il cliente e Unox, marketing, vendita, assistenza, si mette una persona sola, che è sì un tramite verso l'azienda, ma allo stesso tempo è un collega di chi usa questi forni. Il rapporto tra i clienti e questa figura diventa più chiaro e diretto, sia sul piano professionale che su quello umano. È così che Unox reinventa i ruoli aziendali.
Normalmente arriva un venditore, invece nel vostro caso cosa succede?
Uno chef professionista arriverà in questo ristorante, arriverà con un forno Unox, lo porterà all'interno della cucina, lavorerà con lo chef, con i suoi ingredienti, sul suo menù, per andare a trovare la miglior soluzione all'interno della nostra gamma prodotti per quello specifico ristorante.
Per Unox il punto sta nel ripensare i ruoli aziendali classici. Il marketing, le vendite e l'assistenza, che prima erano rappresentati da altrettante persone, vengono gestiti da una figura nuova, una persona sola, che nasce come cuoco e quindi parla la lingua del cliente, ma per così dire anche quella del forno.
Ok, avete capito cosa hanno fatto questi signori?
So have you understood what these people are doing? They're really great, courageous decision, an expensive decision maybe, but you always have to think that if you want to achieve results, you also have to invest something. So you have to first define your unique selling proposition, and this was their unique selling proposition. And then you should ask yourself the following question: why should a customer choose you instead of others? Besides the try and buy solution, this company, as a USP, deliver also to 140 countries 3 days after the order placement. And that's a tiny amount of time. Well, they work a lot abroad, and they have a very broad network, so this was not achieved overnight. They went through a path, they have been investing and building a lot, and this is the final result. And I think it's a great result. So simplify, use the simple words. Speak a simple language. Question to you: in your opinion, what is the most distributed and the least read newspaper? So which is the newspaper which is sold the most and read the least in terms of language simplification? The newspaper.
24 ore?
Il Sole 24 Ore, it's a financial daily. Well, I see it sometimes in the packaging on the desks. And why that? I hope there's no representative from this financial daily. Well, this is because the language used is very difficult. It cannot be understood by anybody, by everybody, only by specialists. And not by all specialists, because some tax experts still keep the newspaper in its packaging on the desk. But this is one of the reasons why. Because there are technical terms that must be used, but you can add a glossary or terminology on the website. If you're using technical jargon, you have to try and help your potential customers, because if they land on your webpage and if they cannot understand anything, they're not going to get in touch with you. That's clear. In your opinion, out of these three possible people, whom should I get in touch with? So when I write the content of my website, whom should I speak to? To the one who pays, to the one who uses, to the one who decides? You're all silent. I was nervous, but you're still even more nervous than me. It seems as if we were at school. Those who decide, you say. Those who decide.
Chi utilizza. Se io vi dico
It's the second option, those who use. Or what if I said all three people? Well, the three people as a whole, because it must be understood by these three people, because the company is made up of multiple people. There's an owner, there may be a person who uses that thing and who must understand what the owner said. And if then there is a financial department who pays, well, these people in that department must also understand what this product is all about. Otherwise, they would reject the purchase. So you always have to speak to these three people by simplifying your language. Another important element is the page formatting. Is it nicer to read page A or page B? What is nicer to read? Page B? Well, also when you speak, I'm speaking, but I'm making interruptions. I break sometimes sentences, I underline some words, and the same applies to the online language. We are speaking, but we don't know who is on the other side of the screen, and that other person has to understand what we're saying. Well, if I see a text like that, so without interruptions, it's like a wall falling down on me. I cannot understand anything. I'm breathless. So it's much better to add pictures, to add movies, which are very useful. You can embed important information within a video. You can add pictures, content with bold characters. You can work a little bit on it. So I know it requires effort, but leads to results if properly made.
Allora,
The use of videos now, the people of the Unox, well, they didn't know what to write, and so they carried out a survey. Well, actually, it's not that they didn't know what to write, but through this survey, they discovered, besides the fact that people were not familiar with the brand, but also they were lacking in service. So think about it. A man selling ovens, but then no one providing service if something goes wrong. This is also very bad for your reputation. You know, if something breaks, no one is able to fix it. So we need actually to safeguard our reputation. So if you don't know what to write, well, you can do a survey. Like in the example of our company. Now this is our tabloid. These two sentences, do you think they're there by chance? No, of course not. We have interviewed about 100 entrepreneurs in the Veneto region, asking them, what do you expect from a web marketing agency? And they answered high competent and measurable outcomes. And so there we go. We are putting in on our cover page these two requirements. And of course, we also asked them, and how do you expect them to be, dressed? Thought that these consultants in Milan is a bit different, but this is what Venetian entrepreneurs are expecting. So suit and a tie. And there we have the picture of this consultant with suit and a tie. It seems, naive, but it is not. And these are all useful tips for you. Number 3, PWM. What is it? An acronym? Web Marketing Plan. In Italian, so piano di web marketing. I can have a proper business model or having a good marketing strategy, good store management. All my employees are working well. I have a consultant and I have a very nice website. Yes, but then if you don't push, it's like having, a very nice car, but with no fuel in it. So let's now focus on the web marketing plan. Now, it's the sum of all the different channels through which we can generate traffic in the target within the website. So I do so, of course, to find new customers through the web. But I always warn on the fact that, if you have already a brick and mortar activity that is doing well, don't abandon it to just put 100% online. So don't invest 100% online, because there are X reasons for which it could go wrong. So start, finding a little budget and do some tests online to see whether things can work or not. But don't put from the beginning all your budget in it. CEO positioning. So on the pay-per-click campaign. Now, these are two activities that you can carry out and that bring in different types of contacts. Now, the organic CEO, this is the central part. When you type in red women sunglasses, this is what you get, the organic results. In green, this PPC is pay-per-click. These are sponsored messages. Now, the SEO positioning requires for a longer activity to achieve results. Do not believe those that tell you that you'll reach a top position in 2 months in Google. No, it's not like this. Sometimes it takes years. Of course, it depends on how competitive our market is. But contacts coming from SEO, from a quality viewpoint, they are higher up. The pay-per-click, well, these are campaigns that you can carry out. But of course, if you stop investing money in there, you'll disappear. So the PPC, it's something that you pay for. Of course, what is wonderful is to have the two areas working together. So you start working on the organic to create all what is needed to become a reference brand. And meanwhile, you also start invoicing with a pay-per-click, where you can get a quicker result and response. The killer landing page. Well, they improve performance of the pay-per-click. They are linked with these campaigns, and there's a call to action on these pages. So they are developed so that the potential customer performs an action. We invite them to do an action, to do something. And then the remarketing activities. So the advertisement is following you. Those that make some searches on the internet, they might, see banners all around the screen. Well, this means that this company is doing a remarketing activity. I know sometimes it's bothering you, but it leads to a higher conversion. The website is following you. You might forget about it, but the banner will pop up reminding you about them. So it's quite useful in terms of increasing figures. This is also a very useful tool to increase visits to your website. And yes, it's really useful, as I said, and if you have the opportunity, like in your field, you have a lot to tell in terms of styles, trends. So, yeah, you can sort of provide content around your product. And then the social, absolutely yes, but it has to be sort of done in the proper way. And if you're not there, people might wonder, why are they not there on the social media? What do they have to hide? What are they hiding? And then, of course, the communication must be consistent with what you are providing on your website. So social media consistent with website. And then the proper, marketing through the business amplifiers like Amazon or other platforms, and they do work. And then different marketplaces like for the real estate, immobiliare.it, or for hotels, booking.com. This is another tool. DEM is email marketing. Not a big return for new business, it's just 2%, but you can use this tool to work with acquired customers. So those customers that are already in your database, well, work on them and try and sell them more products. They already know you, they have used already your product, and so they might be ready also to bring their friends to your store. So work with them. If you manage to have a database of all your customers, you can exploit this. Geolocalization for some activities. This is also another useful activity, working on geolocalized words. This allows you to attract customers that are close to you from a geographical viewpoint. Yeah, but all in all, in the end, how can I know what to put in there? So what's the key ingredient in this cake for me? Well, market analysis is very important in this case, and it helps you out like this, something like this. It takes a month to carry it out, but it allows entrepreneurs to understand properly the market share they can target, what the competitors are doing, what and how they are investing. If there is a request for the product you plan to launch. So a market analysis gives you all the information you need to understand whether you're doing the right thing. So analysis of the website and websites of your competitors, visibility, where are your customers, because of course you cannot serve them all, and you have to understand what's your target and how worth is your market. Understanding the value that is at stake allows you to understand how much you have to invest to also catch up with other competitors that are already online. So where are your customers, what are they doing, and how much budget you have available. It's not that if you have a little budget, you just spend a little money here and there on Facebook and on other tools. So actually this market analysis allows you to understand, first of all, what's your niche, and then from there on you can then move forward. Another important tool for increasing conversion is the social test. So online, those saying nice words about me, well, word of mouth is important, so I have to try and attract people that always say nice things about me. And this is true in the real world, but also online. And sometimes, of course, if you don't trust a website or a brand, then you might not want to type in the number of your credit card. So this is also important, and it decreases mistrust. And we do this, like for example, when we write our CV, we write down all the companies we have worked for. Oh, see, this agency has worked for this cool company, and so they might call you. And this happens also on the web. So please make reference to statements from happy customers, or also videos talking of customers, happy customers talking about us. These are also very useful. The logos of respectful customers, like this example. So write down the names of companies, and it's important. The referrals, and so let's also not fear that others will steal customers. And the number of views per product page, and also number of reviews on Facebook, number of fans on Facebook, number of reviews on TripAdvisor, for example, number of past views on Facebook, or videos on YouTube, number of shares for your blog. And like this company, if we say hamburger, we all think about McDonald's. It's not that they're making the tastiest hamburger in the world, but they're very famous. They worked on kids to bring adults to their stores. Now we see a lot of adults and less kids, but they have done an excellent work. Bestsellers, in case of books, the number of copies sold. So look here, we have the stars, the trophy, and how many people are viewing this hotel. So you must hurry up and book your room before others would do so. All these techniques are working very well. Then the guarantees, 3 kinds. Being authoritative, the brand, the reliability of the brand, awards you've won, and patents, collaborations with the university, professionalism, ISO certifications, environmental certifications, workplace certifications, innovation level of the products, different certifications in different areas. Like these people here, they are the father of Zalando. So they opened up a call center working 24 hours a day. Like, I'm in Rome, I'm walking around, where can I go to eat a pizza? And Zappos, was becoming very popular, and everybody was calling to see whether they were real or not. And then in the end, people would buy there, so it was free shipment, and they take the product back if you don't like it. Yeah, like take it back. Of course, you always have to look at the examples of big companies. So they reimburse if you're not satisfied, and of course always our unique selling proposition, and also the guarantees must become your unique selling proposition. And that's it. I apologize. I was running very quick. So I was talking so quick, but now please, I would like to ask you to fill up this form for me. satisfaction sort of questionnaire.
Chiudo o è ancora?
Dai però, mi si sente? Sì? Hanno spento? Sì. Un po' di sorrisi me li avete fatti dopo,
No,
che
devi dire
carini.
ancora qualcosa.
All'inizio no, ma dopo. Adesso te la do, c'è... Aspetta.
Bene, grazie Alessia.
Very well, thank you, Alessia. I also would like to thank you for having stayed with us. So we have seen that actually to be successful on the web before exposing to the social media, we need to have clear ideas on the benefits for our customers. Once we clarify this, we start with a strategy to be successful on the web. Thank you very much for your attention.